Welcome to a new live session of Seibert Media. I have two guests. It's Wikey, our attorney at law.
Yeah.
That's how you call it. And Sarah. And Sarah is one of our product owners for GDPR-related data privacy add-on for Confluence. That's all. GDPR was coming in action. How do you say that?
Yeah.
A week ago.
Yes, 10 days ago. Yeah.
And we have a couple of use cases in Atlassian Confluence that actually for European customers of Atlassian or people who have users who are in Europe, this is mandatory today, right?
Yeah. Especially if you are doing business in Europe, then it doesn't matter where the people are coming from. You have to obey the law there.
Yeah. Sarah, which use cases are those?
For example, the external use case, when you have a lot of users from external parties, like your customers or people who work for you, and you don't want them to see each other. So,
which is also a business requirement, right?
Yes.
If you're a dealer, you don't want to have the suppliers and the customers in the same Confluence community speaking to one another and circumventing your dealer information advantage, right?
Yeah.
So,
and it's also mandated by law.
Because the GDPR says data protection by design and default, so I have to make sure that it is not possible that everybody can see me or see the others. So I have to do some technical things to make this short.
So only if they agree that the data is shared, can we share this data, right? That's what you say by data protection by design.
Yeah.
So it has to be closed until I know that I can show Sarah's photo to other people.
Yeah.
Okay, to get this consent, there's also a use case that we are going to present, right?
We have a plugin called Terms of Use, and this plugin shows text when you log in as a user, and you have to accept this in order to use the system. And you can also revoke these terms of use, but then you cannot use Confluence.
Okay, let's see how that works. And I think it's a pretty standard thing. Like from a business pitch from my side, I would say there's two plugins, Terms of Use and Space Privacy, that we're going to show. And we think it's kind of mandated by GDPR that you use them in Confluence, even if it's not an extranet. But you can decide for yourself. Let's see how they work.
Yes, here we have Terms of Use. You have the possibility to add a text and to give this a title. And you can also see here the users who have confirmed or declined these terms of use. So you have a filter, so you see, okay, the administrator, he has agreed today. And when I change something in text, I also have to agree to the terms of use.
Okay, so whoever logs into my system has to agree to the terms of use that we put in this app. And if they don't, let's see what happens. If you deny, you're logged out. Okay, and if you log in again, then it will ask you to agree again. And if you agree, we'll have it on our files. So we can say, this user has agreed to this version of our terms of use on this date. Does that satisfy what GDPR wants from us?
Yeah, because the GDPR wants documentations about the fact that somebody has given his consent or has revoked it. So that would really do it.
Okay, so that's terms of use. One of the things that you may want to have is a text or the contents of the text. We do have a template that we use our own. You can request that from us. We'll give it to you for free. Actually, maybe we can pull up a Wiki slide for contact. It is helpful to talk to someone who knows a little more than just copy pasting text. So if you want to contact Wikey, he's also in Germany, but I think he's also working with international clients.
Yeah.
So feel free to contact him by email or phone or through his website. Terms of use. We do have different versions which we didn't show. We do have the ability that people can be nudged if someone is denying. That's maybe something that you could show still. Like in the system, there's still the option to.
Yes, in my profile, I have the point terms of use. And when I click on it, I can see the text I have accepted once, and I can revoke to this. So it has a confirmation, and
then in the admin area, you can say, please send an email to the administrator if someone does that, because it may have other implications that you want to follow up with. Okay, terms of use. Then next use case. So now to wrap this up, we get consent for certain things. We can show you a picture, we can show you a profile, all the content that you put into Confluence is owned by if you want to anonymize your data, you have to do it on your own later. Things like that could be in terms of use. We've been talking about suppliers, customers, and that they shouldn't see one another. The default in Confluence is everyone can see everyone, right?
Confluence secures content, but no user data. So when I click on the people directory, I can see all of the people who are as user in my system.
Even if I don't work with them or...
I can open the profile, see the email address, profile picture,
phone number,
company, everything.
And if you're using Linchpin, the internet solution that we've built, that there would be much more like bigger pictures, way more information, rich, beefed up profile pages. Okay, and what are we going to do about it?
Space Privacy creates a new space template for the external space, and this is like a silo. So everyone who's working within these external spaces is able to see each other, but no one else. So I can enter space name and the key. And when I click on create, I have the new external space. It looks like a normal Confluence space, nothing different, but I have a new options for the external users in this space, where I can add a new user to the space, give them a permission role. This permission role is predefined. So I have the watcher, the editor, the commenter, but the admin can change the permission of each role. So we add them, and it takes a second. And now these users are able to see each other. So Adara can see Drake, but they cannot see anybody else in the system.
And we can also create new users, right? That's something that I think is pretty outstanding in this feature. Like normally the super administrator has to create users, and now your customers can create their own colleagues, your suppliers can create those, or customers could even create their own customers in a space that they collaborate in with. Maybe we could just try that out. And one problem that we'll face is, we don't get the email, right?
I can take a dummy email address.
Okay.
So then I add this new user to this external space.
Can we show the welcome mail also? I think this is also pretty helpful. Like if you are sending an email, you can choose the language, especially for people who are in Germany like us, and at the same time have a lot of international customers. It's helpful to have a invitation that gives some context to your extranet in the language that your customer actually speaks. So that's also something that Confluence can't do. Just as a minor thing, but as we've invited a lot of customers to our extranet already, that was very cumbersome in the beginning because they would get a standard kind of sucking email from Confluence without any context, which looked like spam to them. And then they would add another email. Hey, by the way, you just got this email. This email is for you to explain. But in the other email, you have to click the link to get your password. And it did work before as well, but it was not as professional. Like we have, through partners, very big corporations, like they make the top 5 list of the most valuable companies in the world. If you send those people 2 emails, it feels like the solution that I'm trying to sell you is not up to what you're used to in technology. So I'm pretty happy that we have a consistent user experience here now. And okay, did you get the email already, or do you know this?
No, that's an email which goes to the trash.
Okay, okay. Hold on. So let's skip that part. If you log in with this user, the people directory that you've seen will only be 2 people, Adara and Drake, and the third user, and that's a simple but a crucial difference for GDPR. Can you give some more context why this is important?
Well, the GDPR says that the people have the right to decide who is able to see me, who is able to see my data, and that is really important to obey this, because you can get fines for that if you don't obey it, or you have to pay some compensation to the people if you don't obey the law. So it's really important to fulfill this.
So I do see one very simple option. I could use this terms of use plugin that we've shown, and then tell everyone, oh, by the way, we're going to show your phone number and email address to everyone. That would be a very simple thing. The problem would still be I would only be able to invite people who I feel comfortable with seeing one another, right? So in the dealer use case, I wouldn't want to have customers and suppliers talk to one another. And if you have, like if people pay different hourly fees, for example, for the same person, you may want to have fenced spaces for customers as well. Because if those customers talk to one another and say, oh, I'm working with Sarah a lot, and she's way more expensive, I learned, for me than for Wikey, can we maybe renegotiate that? So this information you don't want to have traveling around as well. Okay. GDPR, quite a big topic, not so complex solutions, right?
Yeah, exactly.
If you have any questions, law-related, please confide into Wikey. If you have any questions about Confluence-based intranets, or this GDPR tools that we've just shown, contact Sarah or us. The links below will help you do that. Thanks.
Thanks.
For you too.
Thank you.